Let's talk about. Let's do a little name dropping. Let's talk about some of the cool people you've played with. Now, obviously, the pinnacle in your career is we've played together. I know that.
Well, that's in my diary.
Yeah. Oh, it should. Yeah. Is that the diary that has all the notes about depressed this morning? No. But no. I mean, you played with, of course, Greg Allman and all the brothers. You know, I remember actually seeing you play with Dickie Betts. I found I'm sure it was a bootlegs that was floating around.
Yeah.
But I remember hearing you play with Dickie Betts. It was amazing.
Okay.
And you both were singing. Do you remember that?
Let me tell you what we did. And this is my sort of chronology.
Okay.
Wet Willie, steadily from 70 to 1980. Some other guest projects in the midst of that.
Right.
But mostly that was my focus, and all my energy was Wet Willie for those years.
Right.
And after 1980, when I had an opportunity, at the same time, the record label was seeing some different things going on. So what it was, we were on Epic, and we had already recorded 2 albums for them. The second one contained Weekend. And music was changing. There was a lot of dance music.
Oh, sure.
There was a lot of kind of new wave coming in. And we were saying, well, how do we fit in that picture? So, I mean, we did Weekend, and then we sort of backed up and said, okay, we need to regroup, because that is not exactly where we want to go with our music. So the record label said, why don't you guys step back, take some time, and Jimmy, we want you, if you will, do a solo album for us, because we like your personal style, and I think you have more like autobiographical material, you know. And so we talked about that, and that's what happened. And so Wet Willie was put kind of on the back burner, and at the same time, all those guys, Rick Hirsch included, who went off to do Greg Allman's stuff, and I then recorded 2 solo albums for them, and including a hit song called "I'm Happy That Love Has Found You" was like top 30.
Oh yeah.
And I did that on Dick Clark, American
Bandstand. How cool is that?
Video,
yeah,
you know.
man.
But so leading up though, so there's a couple years of my solo stuff, and then 1982, I got a call from Bert Holman, and well, actually, Dickie Betts' management was John Scher, and Dickie wanted to put something together because the Allman Brothers weren't really together at that point.
Right.
So they called me, and they called Chuck Lavelle.
Sure.
And Butch was involved.
Oh, cool.
And so we called it BHLT, Betts Hall.
That's
Lavelle,
right.
and
Now
Trucks.
I remember. Yeah,
and Butch always calls it the Sandwich Band because it's bacon ham.
You're the ham, clearly.
I became ham.
Yeah.
Lavelle.
So you're the other white meat.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna crack me up. I won't be able to.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All right.
But so there's a 2-year period of us touring a lot, all over the country, doing some demos, and getting some. There are live bootlegs out there, and you can find tape collectors and CD collectors that go, "Oh, I got BHLT live at the bottom line, man."
Yeah. That's. I mean, a friend of mine had that, and let me hear it. It was amazing.
It's some good stuff, and I mean, there's no reason it shouldn't have turned or moved into the studio and done an album, except for there were a little bit divergent factions, and what it was, Dickie's over here, and he's moving where I think he really could have done more in this area, country, alternative rock, country rock.
Gotcha.
Like a la Dwight Yoakam and stuff like that.
Right.
He could have been big as a solo doing that instead of like more jam.
Yeah.
And Chuck and I are going, let's rock, man. Come on, we got this material, and we're writing stuff and trying to bring it to Dickie. Anyway, we had a great run for 2 years, and it was a great opportunity for me to hang out with Butch, and Chuck and I were roommates, and it was like,
oh wow,
good buddies.
So does he snore?
No, that's why he chose me, because I don't either.
Okay.
At least I didn't then.
Yeah, we're right. Now things have changed a little bit. We're gonna tell me a little bit about working with Hank Williams Jr. Hank Williams Jr.
You know, Hank, he always loved Southern rock, and he recorded an album either at Capricorn or Muscle Shoals with some of the Marshall Tucker guys involved in it, and that was a famous record of his. But okay, I'm touring, doing my own thing, doing Wet Willie and stuff of that, and then I get a call in 1992 in the spring, right now. I got a call, 92, from the drummer for Hank, and his name was Bill Marshall. And Bill and I knew each other from another band that he played with. He played with Larry Raspberry back in those days, and he called me and said, listen, I don't know if you're interested in this at all, but you're my buddy. I just want to throw it out there. Hank's harmonica guy, who also sings some, is having to leave the road. Are you interested at all in doing this thing? And Hank's really excited that you would even consider. I said, well, give me the dates, and the money sounded good, and the availability sounded good, and it was like, okay, Jimmy, I'm sorry, but we can't book any rehearsals around this because this guy just left. So we're just going to send you this box of CDs, and can you please just just go to town, and woodshed as hard as you can, and then we'll fly you from. And I was out on spring break with my kids out in Arizona.
Oh my God.
So they're going out horseback riding, and I'm going, family tradition. And so I had to really get that stuff, and then get on a plane, and then so really basically almost without a sound check, get on stage and do the whole show, which it turned out was, here 21 years later, and I'm still with them, and lots of times it's like, well, the first couple songs and the last few, and in the middle he might call anything. You just be ready.
Just fake it. Yeah, it's trial by fire, man.
Ride the bull, 8 seconds.
Well, that's it. That's it. Let's segue now into talking about vocally. Probably my favorite singer of all time. That's you.
Me?
Yes, you.
Gosh, thank you so much.
You're not much to look at, but then I can't see you, so what does it matter?
Well, how do I feel?
Let's talk about that after the show. You got good muscle tone,
Wow.
So, but no, the harmonica playing, John Popper is great. He does all this cool stuff, but I still will pick your harmonica over anybody else any day of the week. What is it that gives you such a special sound with that harmonica?
Well, I've studied them all, and I started playing harmonica when I was 16 or 17 years old.
Yeah.
And I was living in Mobile, and there wasn't anybody around that could mentor me. I mean, I didn't know one guy that played it.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to the records, and I'm trying to teach myself, and there weren't any methods like Mel Bay or anything that I could find. So here I'm trying to, how did he bend that note?
Yeah.
How did he play that bluesy sound? And I'm going, all I can get is old Susanna and Camptown Races. So through trial and error, I figured out, wait a minute, cross harp is inhaling.
There you go.
It's not all blowing out, it's inhaling for the one chord. Well, then by that time I was still, I got groups together and run into some people that go, no, let me show you a little trick.
That works.
And then Wet Willie starts going on tour, and all of a sudden we're playing with Taj Mahal. Or
oh my
playing
gosh.
with John Hammond, and I'm going,
I remember seeing you with Taj,
give me a break. Let me have a little, show me that
Let
one.
me breathe. Yeah.
Show me one thing you could.
Yeah.
Well, look, bend the note like this, and when you do this, do this. And I took notes and listened as hard as I could to Little Walter.
Yeah.
Everybody goes to school on Little Walter
Of
Jacobs,
course. Yeah.
But Paul, as far as some of the, it's not a racial thing.
No.
But when I think about white guys that I knew, that I was like, really attracted to their style, Paul Butterfield came up the other day, and I was just crazy about Paul, and Taj, and like I said, John Hammond,
Sure,
and Jimmy Reed, and some of those guys,
and not Dan Aykroyd.
Well, Dan, I'm sure he's got his heroes, but thank God he can act.
I'm kidding. Yeah, exactly. I tell you what, we're going to do some music. We're going to have a little blast from the past here. I very cleverly conjured into this. We're going to play one of my tunes.
I said yes, though, didn't I?
You did. Well, no one said you were smart. I mean, but we're going to do one of my tunes, "Still Me Sane and Free," which you and I did at the historic Douglas Theater in Macon, Georgia, back in 1999.
That's the recording you sent me. Was from that night.
From that night, yeah. And so let's do that right now. Studio41, Jimmy Hall. We're going to do some bad music for you right here. How can I express what I feel without the pain? Nothing real, even though I'm far from home. I'm still me. I'm still me. I'm still me. I'm still me. Without the sun, there is no rain. And without the moon, there is no wave. Even though I am further from home, I'm still sane. I'm still sane. I'm still sane. I'm still sane. How can I express what I feel without love? Nothing really